Hello.
Are you okay?
Okay. Okay. What?
I've just been seeing that you're not fine, and I've been observing for a few days now, and I know that you're not okay.
Okay, baby.
I know that you've got difficulties
Are you okay?
expressing yourself. Yeah, I'm okay. Just concerned about you, but I just want to know. You don't need to.
Okay.
You don't need to feel pressured, but I just want to know when you're like this. What should I do?
When I'm like what?
When you are just not fine and you are emotionally withdrawn. What should I do? You know I care about you.
You think I'm emotional?
Yes, I think that you are. You're not expressing yourself fully. You say you're okay, but I know you better.
Okay, so I'm just feeling. Honestly, I just when I'm like this, what do I want? I just feel down. My emotions are just like that. So, but with me, here's what you can do. Just when I'm okay, I'm fine.
Give you a massage.
No, I don't think a massage will work. So here are the 3 things that you can do when you feel like your man is closing up, and here's how you are able to access his emotions. The first thing that you need to do, now remember, we are all different. I've heard and I've said this also myself, that all women are the same, all men are the same, but that is not the truth. We are all very, very different and unique in our own being, and this can come out to be different with others and very effective with others. The first thing that a man needs for him to open up emotionally is a conducive environment. A conducive environment. It is not true, ladies and gentlemen, that men don't open up. Men do open up. And if you want to, just debate that, I would say to you, have you ever looked at your man when he was watching a soccer match? The way he gets excited when his team scores. But have you also seen that his team would be leading 1-0 and 3 minutes remaining, he's celebrating. He knows they've won the game and the other team comes and equalizes. Have you seen how he reacts? The anger, the disappointment in him. Did you see how he reacts? That's his emotions opening up right there. Or have you been with your man, driving with your man, and he saw his dream car? Have you seen how that childlike kid in him comes out? How he celebrates that car? Have you seen how he daydreams when you are driving in the midst of that suburb where he dreams to buy your family house? Have you seen him react to a new idea, to a new business opportunity? Your man opens up, but he doesn't always open up in the environment that you want him to open up. For example, a lot of women want men to open up in bed. Now, the only opening up your man is going to do in bed is through sex. For them, that is an emotional environment where it's not a place to talk. Men hate opening up in an enclosed place. They feel like they are being interrogated. They feel like they are in court. So you want your men to open up, create a conducive environment for them to open up. Take them to their favorite sport. Do you realize that men, with women visit each other in the house? Every time men have to be amongst each other, they leave their house. I don't know if you've observed that. Oh baby, I'm coming. let me go and just have some time with the girl, with the guys. You know, women open up in a bar. Women open up in a saloon. Women open up in the house. They visit each other in a restaurant over coffee and all those kind of things. Look, men rarely open up there. You know, well, you can say men open up in a barber shop. Yeah, well, they try to open up. But men are not only insecure with their emotions towards their female counterparts, they are also insecure with their emotions towards their male counterparts. It takes a sensitivity and an environment that is conducive for men to open up. And here's how. Take your man to an environment that excites him, and you will see his heart opening up. Because sometimes the emotions we harbor are too strong. They are too tense. The pain of the death of my mother, it's too tense. It's not something I just can open up over coffee in a restaurant. I'm scared. What if I break down completely in a restaurant? So take me outside of our home, but also don't take me to where there's too many people. Take me to a place where maybe a park, you know, maybe let's drive. Take me for a drive. I think you've heard that, right? There is a psychological effect that happens when a man is driving. You are the two of you in the car. That is a conducive environment where he can be able to tell you everything. Or maybe a beautiful holiday destination. Maybe just somewhere. So men first need a conducive environment for them to be able to open up. Number two, when that environment is set, the person they are opening to, men need a certain level of trust to be able to open up to you. They will sleep with anyone. They'll have business with anyone. They'll associate with anyone, but when it comes to their emotional nakedness, men needs an extraordinary level of trust to be able to tell you how they feel, why they feel like that, and what that has done to them. So the next time you want your man to open up, before you even attempt, build the trust he has in you. And by trust, I don't mean present trust. I don't know how I'm going to put this, but I mean loyalty. More than trust, men love loyalty. Men want to know that what I'm telling you now, you will keep it with you to your grave. That's the kind of trust they want. Because there's that kind of of course your man trusts you. Oh, you don't go back home and say, the reason why you don't open up to me is because you don't trust me. No. He trusts you now. He's not sure what you are capable of doing the day you separate or the day you fight. Why? Because most of us as men have opened up to women so vulnerably, who used our vulnerability to attack our manhood when we were fighting or when we broke up. There is nothing as unforgivable to a man as using his weaknesses as a weapon when you're having a fight or when you're broken up. Nothing. You can go all out and expose the size of his manhood in public. You can do that on social media, but the moment you use that intimate emotional chat he had with you to attack him in private or even in public, it's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. We don't care about the size of our manhood. We care about the size of our ego. That's men. Because men can use their ego to justify the size of their manhood. So if you are gonna go out there and expose how weak he is emotionally, no amount of large penis will be able to compensate the shame and the embarrassment he thinks has been laid out there. And that's one of the reasons why men love housewives, women who don't go out. The reason why they don't want you to go out, most of them is not because they're scared you're going to be successful, more success. No, they have put you there as a locker. They've put you there as a safe for their emotions. If you go out there, they are not sure who you are talking to and what you're telling those people about them. Men are overprotective of the information about their emotions that they give you. So you need to build a certain kind of loyalty. So not only should you be a girlfriend, not only should you be a wife, you should be a confidant, a companion. And how do you build that? By you opening up. If you can trust your man with your most sensitive information that has ever happened to you in the past, or how you feel, if you can be able to trust your man with I think I did a video with my wife, if you can trust your man with the most embarrassing moments of your life, he will begin to open up and trust you with emotions. You know, and that's one of the greatest thing that a man needs. So the first thing is look for a conducive environment. An environment, it could be take a drive. Do not underestimate the power of a drive, a long drive, a 2-hour drive, and ask relevant questions. You know, and let him express himself. The second thing is build a high level of loyalty and trust. Let him know that even if you will no longer be together in that relationship, you will guard that sensitive part of himself that he has given to you with integrity. It is very, very important. The other thing that you can do to ensure that your man opens up to you emotionally is recommend mentorship or a father figure to him. Someone that he can hear from, someone that can relate with him as a father, an elderly figure. It could be somebody that he has expressed respect for or honor for. And as he does that, because sometimes opening up to you is not a problem, but there are issues that comes before the issues of him opening up to you. I don't know if that makes sense. The man's emotions are in layers. There are things that he needs to open up to his father first before he can open up to you. So recommend life coaching. Recommend mentorship, and not just any mentorship. You know, women make this. Here's the mistake women make every time, especially when a woman is recommending that you go seek for help. They always recommend their pastor. Now, that's your pastor. Your relationship that you have with your pastor, I might never relate to. You understand? Which comes back again to point number 2. Because men wants to be able to open up and have conversations with a man they know will safeguard the information. They don't want a person that they can go and express to, and the next thing they hear your pastor preaching on the pulpit and say, the other day I was with this guy and he was expressing this and this and this and this, and he's in the church. Now it makes him uncomfortable. You get it? And that's why a lot of men now are more, they are resorting more to speaking to a psychologist or speaking to a life coach than speaking to pastors. Because they don't know what, your pastor may wake up and decide to make his experiences a message on a Sunday. So listen to him. Who has he expressed honor and respect for? Whose voice has your man determined to listen to? And recommend that he takes up a step and ask for that figure to mentor him or to speak to him, because probably sometimes mentorship to us men sounds like it's a process that will have to take away my time and my space and everything. Yeah, just say to speak to that person. It is important because Have you ever bought a car? It's a new car. It's a brand new sports Mercedes-Benz car. And somebody came to you and say, hey, you must give me this car. I want to open the valves. Have you ever heard of that? What's the meaning of that? What does that mean? It simply means it's new. It hasn't been, the speed valves of that car hasn't opened so that it begins to function at its ultimate and maximum level. And that is with the emotions of a man. He may just need somebody to break that wall. There's a wall that he has built. See, ever since witnessing his mother being abused by his father, ever since witnessing his father being addicted to drugs and being an alcoholic, coming home, beating them up, abusing them, eating all the money, letting them sleep hungry, ever since he witnessed that when he was between the ages of 1 and 12, ever since he saw how much of a failure his father was, he's always been battling. He doesn't want to be like his father. You know, every time I speak to young men and even men in marriages and on why they do not open up, they'll tell you, you know, sometimes I keep quiet. I don't want to open up because I'm scared of what I can do if I open up. And in most cases, it's because most of these men are pushed to open up every time you have an argument with them. That's not an environment for a man to open up. If you think your man is going to open up during your fight, then if ever he does open up, you will never recover from that opening up. Because everything he's going to tell you, including the things you have not done, it will be coming from a depth pit of his emotional dysfunction that started decades ago. But now if you give him that platform to open up, he will insult you for something his father did. He will discredit you and disregard you for something his mother did. It's opening up when he's angry is not the right environment for your man. But at the same time, if you can be able to let him go and open up to a man that he's gonna look at like this and associate that image as his father. Your man is angry. It could be. Your man was molested. It could be. Your man is angry at his mother. It could be that your man is angry at his father. It could be that your man is angry at his pastor. It could be that your man is angry at his the babysitter that molested him, or whoever did that, or the teacher that told him you're stupid, you are nothing, you will not amount to anything. Your man has this anger. It is this anger that has built a war towards anyone who can. It could be the ex that he divorced, the ex that broke his heart and went out and told everyone his weaknesses. He could be angry at that. But you see, for him to be able to express that anger, he needs an environment where he can have that image. And most, I can tell you now, 60% of the men that are not opening up, it's because of the absence of a father figure in their lives. So give him that image. Let him see a person who is a father figure, but different from how his father was. Let him have that belief that there are men in this world who have grown up to be good fathers, who have grown up to be good husbands, who have grown up to be amazing business people, who have grown up to be everything that the image of a man in his mind is, and that is possible. And watch him be vulnerable. He doesn't need to be vulnerable to you. It is not mandatory that your man should be. What you need is an amazing husband or an amazing boyfriend. That's what you need. But you see, if he can go through that process of speaking to somebody who is a father figure to him, or somebody he regards respectful, when he comes back to you, it will be easy for him to rehearse what he was saying. Oh, love, I'm so grateful. You know, when I spoke to this man, I just felt like I'm speaking to a father who understands me. You know, because my father used to do, I've not told you this. I saw my father do this. I've not told you this, but the time my mother left, this is what happened. I've not told, I don't talk, sometimes the reason I don't open up is, I haven't told you this, but, this ex of mine, I hate this person. You know what they did? They did this. Okay, what have I done? What have I done for him to open up like this to me? No. He has broken the ice. He has broken the ice. He has broken the wall that has always been there. And now he feels free. And even the way he's expressing it, you can see that there is a new passion. He's reborn. So those are the 3 simple tricks that you can use to get. A lot of people will tell you the way to the man's heart is his stomach. Whoa, but what is the way to his emotions? Definitely can't be stomach. Because you've tried to cook him the best meal and he told you, I don't feel like eating today. And most importantly is, somebody said something powerful. He says, men are talking, but who's listening? Beyond a conducive environment, beyond all these things that you do to make your man open up, you always need to remember that men are very sensitive. Sensitive towards their ego. More sensitive towards their ego than they are to you. It's just how it is. When your man opens up, just like you, don't rush his healing. Don't undermine how he feels. Because what he's telling you now could be something that he can handle at his age. But the pain started 10 years ago. That thing happened when he was 5. He had no capacity to handle that pain. And the pain remains the same. Although the circumstance looks like if it had happened now, he would have handled it. And that's why I always say, do not laugh at the pain of another. Because you don't know the strength that person has to carry that pain. You could have better strength to carry it. And for you, maybe you could just squash it. But not everyone has that same energy. Not everyone has that same strength. And that's why most men resort to suicide. Because men are talking. They are talking in their actions. They are talking in not talking. Their silence is too loud, but no one is listening. The silence of men in this country, the silence of men in this continent is talking. The society has put standards on what a man should be. And this standard can by far be reached, especially looking at the political and the economical status of our countries today. Looking at the social status, looking at the family structure. A man, from being a boy to being a man, it's a process. A process that doesn't only need an individual mental development. It's a process that needs, you know the saying, it takes a community to raise a child. The standards that have been set up for a man today require a functional community, a functional church, a functional government, a functional family. And unfortunately, all these things have been dysfunctioned. We don't have a functional family anymore. We don't have a functional church anymore. We don't have a functional government anymore. The 3 institutions that God created to bring in a smooth transitioning from being a boy to being a man. And so, we are talking. We are crying for help as men. But every time we cry for help, the feedback we are getting is men are weak, or men are dogs, or men are trash, or men. That is the feedback we are getting. The society that is supposed to help us through this transition, the same society, of course, it goes without saying, women are suffering the same thing. And that's why now you are finding men are bullies at work. Because men are trying to search for a source of power. Power to become men from being boys. Because a lot of men hate what they experience as boys. A lot of them. Most men don't want to stay as boys. They want to come out of that environment of being a boy because they were molested when they were boys. Their father abandoned them when they were boys. Their mother was being abused when they were boys. That boy environment is toxic. They want to run away. They want to become men. And now, because there's no system to assist these men to become men, you see now they're resorting to materialism. They think if they can obtain this, if they can have money, if they can have a house, if they can have an executive job, if they can have someone who can report to them, if they can have more power, they can have more influence, that they will feel better, they will feel like a man. If they can have multiple sexual partners, they'll feel like a man. Because you see, ultimately, this pain that men are feeling will have to go out. It will have to come out. If it doesn't, they take their own lives. And those who let this pain out use sex, use alcohol, and use drugs to do it. And the new trend now is most of them are using religion. Call yourself Papa, you call yourself Pastor. You've got a lot of following, people who honor you and do all these things when you appear. All this thing is coming from the innermost part of the man's ego, of him trying to come out from that cocoon, where he is as a caterpillar, to be a butterfly so that he can fly out in life and be normal. Because a lot of men are not normal because of the situations, circumstances that they faced when they were young. And what we need is us as men, first and foremost, to have that conversations amongst ourselves, because we men hate looking at that picture. We hate looking at ourselves vulnerable. We don't like, every time we are naked in front of an emotional mirror, we close our eyes. We don't want to see that image of weaknesses in us as men. We need to be able to have this conversation in our clubs, in taverns, in church, in school, at home, in families. As an uncle, call all your nephews, call your brothers. Let's have this conversation. Let's open up. Let's talk about some damages that family politics has done to the emotions of a man. Let's talk about some emotional damages that the church has done to some men. Let's talk about some serious mental torturing, some serious emotional damage that teachers with their favoritism in school, because you couldn't understand that arithmetics in maths and that geometry, that mathematics, that science, that physics, that you didn't understand and the girl understood it better than you. Let's talk about those comments that the teachers made every time you went to their classroom. Let's talk about that as men. Let's open up and talk. The second thing is the women who are in relationship. Sometimes it's good to leave that relationship and tell the man, I'm not going to sit here and deal with you like this if you can't look for help. And then sometimes you need to also realize, as broken as you are, he is. Unfortunately, you could have at 60% of your time had spent it with a mother, a woman who knew how to be a woman. He has never spent a day with his father, a man who should have taught him how to be a man. And this is a problem we are facing. Who do we blame? We can't blame anyone at this particular moment. We just need to take personal responsibility and begin the process of our own healing. But men, in their silence, are talking. Create an environment that is conducive. Build loyalty and trust for him to be able to open up to you. And number 3, recommend that he sees a different person so that he can see, because sometimes men, all we need as men is a different perspective. A different perspective. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to leave your comments. As a man, why don't you find it difficult to open up? Women, have you ever been in a relationship with a man who finds it difficult to open up? How did you break through? Or do you still have that problem? Do you think by creating an environment, by building loyalty and trust with him, and by probably recommending someone that he, not you, that the person that you think is better to talk to, but he. Because the next thing is you're gonna start forcing him to see that psychologist because he doesn't feel in contact with that psychologist, and you feel like he's resistant to change. And remember, the same way women find insecurities in their physical body and don't just remove their clothes for just anyone to have intimacy with their body, is the same way men feel about their emotional states, and they just never will allow anyone to look at their emotional nakedness at any day. It takes a certain kind of love and intimacy, of commitment and loyalty. Till next time, this is the Kingdom Couple. Do not forget to subscribe, press that notification button, like this video if you like it, and of course, share it to other people that you may think need to hear information in this video. Accent King Mwami.